Hello and welcome to the 2022 Boston College Arts Festival. I'm the Visual Arts Coordinator, Yifan Wang.
And I'm the Visual Arts Coordinator Assistant, Megan Cassidy.
And now you're listening to the Artist Podcast series presented by the Boston College Arts Council Office. Hi, Megan.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. It was so nice to have you here. Even though people just probably hear our voice in the intro, but
yeah. And now you're interviewing me.
I know. Just brief introduction of yourself.
My name is Megan. I am a sophomore and I'm the Visual Arts Coordinator Assistant here at the Arts Council Office, and I'm a double major in art history and English in the Morrissey College of Arts and Sciences.
Nice. So yeah, we see each other every other day. I'll start with the work then. You submitted 3 works, and could you just briefly talk about them and where you get the inspiration from, brief ideas about the works?
Yeah, so I took painting 1 last semester, and I went into the class not really knowing like before, but I never really took a class about it. And I really enjoyed it. And so these were all like different projects throughout the year, and I wanted to submit these because I thought they were my strongest and they show like my skill like developing. And the first one out of these, so the one canvas, which is the landscape, I titled it A Play on Light because I was kind of like experimenting with like the light coming through the trees. And one thing I love about this, so this was like an impressionist project, so I kind of took inspiration from Seurat, who is known for like pointillism. Yeah, and the dots. So I did that, and I kind of took my own take on it, and so I did like individual brush strokes. It took a while, but I really liked how it turned out, and I thought like it looked pretty cool because like when you look up close, you can see all of the different brushwork, but when you step back, it like looks like one big picture, and I thought that was really cool. And then my other one that I did that was inspired by him as well is the seascape one, and that one I kind of looks a little bit different. I did like larger brush strokes, and I also really liked how that one turned out, especially in like the starfish. I really manipulate the way, like the movement of the brush strokes to kind of get a lot of like activity in it and movement. So that's where like my inspiration for that one is. And then my self-portrait. So this was our final project, and I kind of took inspiration from kind of different artists, but maybe I'd say Andy Warhol with the kind of the colors kind of like not blended in. I really liked how this one turned out too.
Nice. I was going to ask you if you were influenced by the Impressionism movement, and I saw the 2 landscapes, and it's just like, yeah, the one definitely, I see like pointillism in there. The other one, it kind of the starfish one kind of reminds me of Van Gogh.
Yeah, I was trying to do a mix of both of them. Yeah, we did a lot of impressionist work in our class, and I really liked that unit, and I kind of wanted to take what I learned from that unit over into like the like following units, and I really think I like really liked that, like the brush stroke a lot, so I kind of like kept with it and like tried to improve it.
Yeah, and I also love how you shape the starfish so it kind of conforms the movement of the brush strokes a little bit. So yeah. So outside of the project, it's Impressionism one of your favorite or your favorite time period?
Yeah, I'd say that I really enjoy Impressionism. I don't know like what it is that I just love about it. I think I just love how the artists during this time, like in plein air, like that work, like the studies, like we had to kind of imitate what they did. So we would do studies in kind of like watercolor, and then we would take like our favorite one out of that one and then like finish it on canvas. And I really like the process. And I just love how they really focused on color and brush strokes. Like if you look at like a Claude Monet, like I just love the aesthetic of it. And if I pursue a career in art history, I'd love to have like that as my concentration to focus on. I just love how impressionism artworks look. I don't, yeah.
I know it's very appealing and they're very calm. Most of them are landscape paintings,
Mm,
but also you have the modernism perspective to them. That they're probably like the
yeah.
fathers of modernism, art in
Mhm.
general. So the trees you did,
Mhm.
even though it's like you're more inspired by by Signac, the orange dots on the tree on the trunk reminds me of Monet, some of Monet's characteristic, because if you look closely at some of Monet's landscape paintings, especially like the snow, I remember when I saw one of his work in D'Orsay, and you would see like blue brushstrokes
Mhm.
among all the white, or like they're not what completely white for the snow. And this also reminds me of that too. I mean, it's probably like the sunshine that's on the tree trunk, but still, it's like very interesting to see a pop of color among what you typically think they're the color for tree trunks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why I love impressionism. And I just love how they're kind of like the bridge from into like contemporary art. Like they're like the inspiration for that. I love like the evolution of how it gets there. So
Yeah, definitely. And now and then you submit the third work, which is by Andy Warhol. You couldn't get more contemporary than that. Can we talk about more about that? And I'm just curious about the process of constructing a self-portrait. And I always found self-portrait very interesting, especially like the style you chose to do your self-portrait. Does it speak something about you? And what were you thinking when we are doing the self-portrait?
so in this project, this was our final project. And I remember my professor, Sammy Chong, was my teaching professor, and he like we had to take a lot of different pictures of ourselves. And I chose the one that was like facing forward because I really just liked how they're engaging with the audience, and it kind of reminded me of like the Marilyn Monroe like triptych of Andy Warhol's.
Mhm.
And I tried to imitate the colors from that, like the bright colors, the different ones. I don't know, I just really liked. I didn't really want to do like a very like realistic self-portrait like with colors.
Mhm.
Look like the photograph that we did like broke down the colors. I'm not sure like how to describe it, but like broke down the colors so it didn't look as realistic, like as a realistic like picture. And so
Was
I
there like a strong light coming from one side?
yeah, there's a strong light coming from the right. And so I really liked that. And that's why I chose it. Cause like the divide between the left side of my face and the right side of the face, like one is like in shadow and the other one isn't. And I feel like it just emphasized it feels like very engaging. And that's why I thought like the picture that I took, like facing forward, would really look great for this project. And I just really enjoyed it. It's not all the time that you like paint yourself and I'm like, while I was painting, I'm like, hopefully this looks right. Like I feel like I'm I don't know.
Yeah,
And it was
definitely.
like so weird painting myself. Like I just kept thinking like, I don't know if this is what I look like. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, but
I
I really liked this because it was something different and I wouldn't normally do self-portraits.
mm, interesting. Yeah, I remember I haven't been like painting or drawing for a couple of years. But I remember in high school, I took the art class and we did several portraits just in different styles. And we did one in like the traditional Byzantine
Mhm.
style. You have to layer colors. You start from like the flush, the red, you paint like entire
Yeah.
canvas like red, and then you start building on the flash and like step by step, layer by layer. And as I did one in the style of Schiller, Egon Schiller, the the expressionism artists, and sort of like all the face was like distorted. And I remember doing portraits so hard because you think, oh, you know yourself the best, you see this face every day in the mirror all the
Yeah,
time, but it's actually hard.
it is. Yeah. I think this was probably the hardest project
Yeah,
for
it's
the class.
harder. It's harder than
Yeah.
painting someone else, I guess. It's just
Because I
very
feel like if
interesting.
since you like you want to like perfect it and like you're probably the one that sees your face the
Mm,
most and you're like, I don't even look like that. Like I need to get it right. I don't know. That's how I kind of thought.
yeah, and then so you were like, this is what I thought I looked like. This is
Yeah.
like actually how I look like. It's very interesting. I just on the back of my mind, just like because in my philosophy class we were reading Nietzsche recently, and Nietzsche says like everyone is the farthest from themselves. So it's just interesting to see how artists to come closer to themselves through a different medium and through a different process. And I found painting self-portrait very interesting. There's one time I was like, I should do a self-portrait every year. Should we talk about the medium? How did you get to choose these medium? Are these all acrylic or they're oil painting?
Yeah, they're all acrylic. So in our class we only painted in acrylic. I've
Okay.
only ever painted in acrylic,
Mm,
but I really want to try oil painting
mm,
just because with oil paint it doesn't dry as fast
mm,
and you can really get like very, very, very fine details. And I really want to try it.
mm,
If I pursue like my painting like over the summer, like I really want to try to like learn how to oil paint. And if I
mm,
like, want to continue painting, like for fun, like as a hobby, I really want to learn. And maybe like in the future, I could want to take an oil painting class here and
mm,
kind of because I know it's very different from acrylic and it's like the process is a lot different. And some people say it's harder, other people like it's just a preference. But like I just want to try it. I just want to see what it's like because I really want to see like if I can like perfect my style through like
mm.
films.
Yeah, and it gives you more flexibility
Mhm.
in modeling
Yeah.
everything since they really don't dry.
I know. And like every time, like in my art history classes, my professors will be like you can always tell it's oil paint because of like the heavy detail and like the perfect shading and modeling and like tempera and acrylic. They just like don't get it as much as
Mm,
oil paint. And I think that's why oil paint is like my favorite medium to like
mm,
study, is because it's so detailed and like
mm.
it looks like a photo. And that's like something I hope to one day achieve in my like painting career.
Like the Northern Renaissance
Yes, like
artist.
John Van Eyck. And that was like real, like, don't know if I'm ever gonna get there, but that'd be really cool if I could do it.
Oh my God. For one second, I thought the self-portrait was in pastel. Like I don't know, somehow about the texture. One last question. You mentioned art history and you're an art history major. Do you think there's influence or like is there any like connection or relationship between artwork, your study in class and yourself doing art in real life?
I definitely would say yes. Like I love studying art and I love learning about the different art periods and just seeing all the different paintings. And I just love like with art history, I've taken it since like junior year of my in high school, since like junior year of high school. And I've definitely feel like I've gotten the skill of being able to like really analyze artworks and like seeing the fine details that maybe others really wouldn't see. And I feel like that does kind of transfer over into doing art and like painting. And I think it's really a great skill to have because you can see the different styles of each different like artistic period. And like I took that over with impressionism and I was like, okay, like this is like Van Gogh style. Like if I want to like imitate that, like I know what to do, like swirly lines, impasto. It's just really nice to have that. You can able to identify the artist and the time period and you can kind of like transfer that over into doing artwork.
Mm,
And I feel like it's kind of it makes like doing art for me like easier. And it just like seems really cool to be able to study these artists and study these like time periods and then being able to try to like paint in that style. And I really think that's like a cool skill to have.
Yeah, definitely. It sounds like art history is like a toolbox for you to get inspiration
Yes,
and
it
just
is.
different paintbrushes.
Mhm.
Alrighty, it was so nice to talk to you.
Yes, you too. Thanks for
Yeah,
doing
of
this.
course. Thank you for sharing all these
Thank
great ideas
you.
with us. All right, I'll see you in the office then.
Yes, I'll see you tomorrow.
Yep. All right, see ya.
Bye.
Bye.